Yeah, Jerry, I was talking to the chick. She said she was a model for a year and a half. And if she took her pins out, then her hair dropped down to a calf. I knew a man, he was just up north and would have got left up north, but he was the chef up north. Welcome to the Reigning Defend Undefeated Undisputed Most Podcast on this godforsaken planet nobody asked Shawn, hosted by your boy Shawn Murray, the Diamond Boy, Chicken reminding himself, the original Thin Black Duke, international heartthrob, heir to the Mary's Hair Primary President, and of course, the first Jamaican in the Kentucky Derby. And boy, I don't really have much to talk about this week except the Locks versus Dipset Verzuz, man. That shit was, god damn. The Locks came out swinging, bruh, and just didn't stop swinging. Even after these niggas had fallen to the canvas, these niggas just kept swinging, man. That shit was crazy. It was clear that these niggas forgot about the chef up north, forgot about what these niggas was capable of up in Yonkers, man. My boy G has said on Twitter, it felt like the Dipset just thought they was going to coast off a cultural impact, which isn't to say that the Locks never had cultural impact, but the Dipset moment was different. Like the Locks have had a serious foothold in the culture for many years, but from the time Oh Boy dropped to like Killer Season was, I mean, it was nothing like it. You didn't even want to be the Locks. You wanted to be like Dipset, especially if you was my age coming up at that time. Like, nigga, like Cam and Jewels was the two coolest niggas on the planet, bro. Like it was something different, but you can't beat chemistry. What's that nigga name on Twitter? Miles Brown. He had that tweet and he said that Verzuz was like the 2012 finals where it's like Dipset had the firepower, but you know what I mean, the Locks had the coaching. Dipset has the records. Like Dipset has crazy records. And I mean, on paper, you would think Dipset would watch them. For one thing, people were counting out the features. Like, I mean, the Locks features game is crazy. And I was saying this, a friend of mine, I was like, I think the problem with Dipset was Dipset's whole shit was kind of like, we are our own thing, fuck everybody else. So like, they didn't really have those features. I mean, the Locks, think about who the Locks could tap into features wise. They got Hove, they got X. They got Nori, Puff, Mariah, Mary J. Jadakiss had that. Was it Maya? Fucking Mace. Like they had like that bag is so deep, and that's just you know the features and shit. Their solo records are crazy. Their group records are crazy. Their mixtape records are crazy. Like this nigga Jadakiss didn't play Y. He did not play Y. It was so funny every time. Like Dipset tried to call out what the Locks was gonna do. They just swerved. Like I remember they was trying to call out "We Gonna Make It." Like remember at one point they thought they were gonna have to stop the battle early, so they said they had 3 records left. When the Locks was down to their last record, they said, "Oh, go ahead, play We Gonna Make It," and they didn't play We Gonna Make It. And they still crushed. Like that shit is incredible. And then like when We Gonna Make It dropped, it was just like pack it up, man. I just lifted off into heaven, bro. Like that's. You can't close better than that, man. That shit is a special fucking song. To me, there's no better song that's ever been made than We Gonna Make It. There's songs that's good, but there's no song better. It's like that shit is a Negro spiritual to me, though. Like Cam got joints like that too, but they just didn't know when to play. Like I really mean it. Incredible song. They ain't know when to. You know what I mean? By the time they played it, in the words of Jadakiss said, "It's good, but it's not enough." Like in the words of my nigga Sly, man, it's not enough, man. It was already over, so yeah. I mean, they just got to work on coordination, man. And what the fuck was this nigga Freaky Ziggy doing? Like the type of dancing this nigga was doing does not fit with the type of music them niggas was performing. That shit was so weird. That nigga was off a beam, bro. Very odd. That shit was a masterclass in how to be a group, how to perform on a versus, how to just perform on stage, how to be a showman. Like this nigga Kiss was in rare form. I mean, I wouldn't say rare form because this nigga was just like that on a Fab battle. He had every quip. He knew how to hype up every record. Perfect example of that is the New York records. When they went back to back New York records. Like Welcome to New York City, one of my favorite records of all time, and that shouldn't be counterable even by New York. The Kiss Ja Rule Fat Joe record. I feel like that record shouldn't be able to be countered by that. But the way this nigga Kiss led into it, and he was just talking this shit like this is the mecca of hip hop. These niggas rapping over their vocals. Like I'm from New York. This that real New York. And then Drop that shit, Tech. That's not to say like that, but I'm from New York is not an incredible record because that hit so hard when that record came out. But it was like the showmanship, and the Lox was right. Rapping over your vocals has never been it, but especially in that space, it really came off amateurish. But the Lox was out there running a 3-man weave, bro. Like that shit is hard to stop. I felt so energized. That shit wrapped up around like 12:30. I was still like, I was ready to go. Some of those Dipset records, the production on them shits is like, there's so much energy to that shit. Like The Rock, Just Fire, versus Reservoir Dogs. Now, to me, The Rock is one of the best songs. Like, that's one of my favorite songs ever. That shit, like, the horns in that song, like, that beat comes in so hard. Cam's verse is incredible. Every verse in that song is really good. But he didn't perform it with the energy that it needed. Reservoir Dogs, great song. Great song. But on energy alone, Reservoir Dogs should never beat The Rock. But the Lox was out there, again, running that 3-man weave, bro. Like, you can't beat them niggas when they on that type of time. Like, them niggas are a group. Like, they're a legit group. You know what I mean? Like, them niggas are professionals, bro. They came out there to put on a fucking show. I rewatched the battle before I was going to record, and I thought Joel's and Jim came out with good energy, but it's like, at some point, they got wore down. Like, I think at some point, they knew they lost, and it was kind of over. Like, they were still, like, Joel's was still doing all his, trying to brush past them niggas and, doing all this other shit. But, like, when that nigga Joel's put his foot in his mouth by saying they don't have no records for the ladies, and then this nigga, they just played a medley of all those fucking hits. It was like, it's over, bro. And it was over before them. I'll tell you when it was over. It was over at Who Shot You. That was the first time Kiss and Cam really got to that kind of back and forth, for real. And, that nigga Kiss just put that energy into the delivery of that verse. And Who Shot Your freestyle is incredible as it is. But then that nigga just, all praises, all burners, all raises, hands down, nigga, the game is all J's. Something I drop, I get it with all flavors. He's a dick, you pussy, y'all neighbors. Yeah, 2 extra whores, I'm in the new. Come on, man. This nigga said he was in a new Aston with 2 extra doors. Like, come on, bro. That's a lesson to all the kids out there, man. Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard, whatever the fuck. And that's not to say Dipset is more talented than the Lox, because the Lox is pure rappers. I don't know if it gets better as a group. I mean, you can make whatever arguments. There's a lot of great groups, but it's not the point. They're not more talented, but when it's, talent versus talent, the hard work's gonna win. Like, all the best concerts I've really been to is niggas really put that time in to make the performance something special. It's not just going out there and rapping, bro. That shit is easy. Like, anybody can do that shit. Like, the fuck am I paying for that for? Still got love for Dipset. Like, I mean, again, that Dipset moment it'll never be recreated. But Kiss, first album I ever bought was Jada Kiss of Death, and there's a reason why. That nigga special, bro. That shit was dope. I haven't watched the Verzuz since before they left Apple Music, like way before. But that shit brought me back. That shit was exciting. I probably won't watch another one again, but that shit was dope, man. Never underestimate your opponent. What else? What else is up? I ain't got much else to talk about. This is a boring ass week. Ain't nothing really exciting happened. I mean, shout out to Simone Biles. She got the bronze medal on the balance beam shit. What else happened? I went to the movies. I went to see The Green Knight. Best movie of the year so far, in my opinion. Saw it twice. This is like my 3rd movie back at the movie theaters. Saw it twice in theaters. The first time with the homie Stash, that shit was great. And I went the second time, and it was a nigga talk through the movie the entire time. Like, this nigga, it was almost deliberate. It was like they put a nigga in there just to fuck with me, bro. I like going to see a movie a second time to pick up on all the things I didn't pick up on the first time, and also just to enjoy the movie again. And this nigga just, I couldn't even focus on anything new because I was just so mad. Like, it wasn't just talking during like loud parts. Like, he was talking during like quiet parts of the movie, and I was so bad at this nigga. Like, I tracked him down after the movie just to get a look at this nigga's face. So if I ever catch him in like public, not even like confront the nigga physically, it'd just be like to avoid this nigga entirely. It was like this nigga had no mental filter. Like, he just had to express every thought he had in his head outwardly. Like, and when I say nonstop, there was never 10 seconds when he was quiet. He spoke for all of it. It was very frustrating, but if you into movies, man, go check out that movie. It's a great movie. Zay Rashad's album is out. The shit's great. Yeah, I don't know what else. Let's just get to the questions and then get the fuck out of here. Short episode. All right. Nobody's asked Shawn. Send in your questions. You know the spiel. Did I eat asparagus today? I think you ate asparagus the day that you asked the question, but you definitely didn't eat it today that this question is being answered on the podcast, because nobody's eating that much asparagus, bro. I don't think you fuck with it that heavily. Cats or dogs? I used to be like a dog guy. And now that I have a dog, I want to say, fuck pets. Pets are dumb and bad. Why do we have pets? Like, yeah, I mean, like, we not hunter-gatherers, dog. Owning a pet is slavery. I got a dog, and I be getting mad at my dog for, like, eating shit or, like, running around and, like, you know, fucking up stuff. But it's like, that's what the dog is going to do. And it's like, you can't just keep it locked up in a crate all day. It's not eating your shit because it's want to fuck with you. It's eating your shit because that's something they just wants to chew on. I'm allergic to cats, and I also just don't like I just don't care. Like, whatever, cats, whatever. And then dogs are fun, but I don't need a dog. Like neither. 90s Nickelodeon or 90s Cartoon Network. That's really tough. Cause I want to give the edge to Cartoon Network because Dexter's Lab was my favorite show. They had Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab. They had fucking Toonami, which is, I mean, Toonami changed the fucking game. It introduced millions of black children to anime, which is good and bad. You know, it's had its faults. There's a lot of niggas that be running with their arms behind their back because of the show. But generally speaking, it was a good thing. They had some heavy hitters, but also a lot of the stuff that we kind of, like, my favorite stuff from, like, Adult Swim didn't come to 2001. Samurai Jack wasn't until 2001. But then Nickelodeon, they got Hey Arnold, all-timer. They had Doug, SpongeBob, all-timer. The Rugrats. They also had all that. You could kind of go blow for blow cartoon-wise. But I think the thing that sets Nickelodeon apart was they had the live-action shit, man. Like Legends of the Hidden Temple, Double Dare 2000, shit like that. Like, that shit was fun. So I have to give it to Nickelodeon, but it's close. Yeah, Nickelodeon, though. 90s Nickelodeon. Our next question. Fuck, marry, or slaughter? Slaughter instead of kill, I guess. Shawn Murray, the Thin Black Duke, and the Diamond Boy. Okay, easy. First of all, you immediately kill Shawn Murray. We don't need that guy. He's the biggest loser of the bunch. This is where it gets tough because the Thin Black Duke and the Diamond Boy are equally kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, they're both really cool guys, but the Diamond Boy is more like flashy, cool. He's like a star. You know what I mean? He's like, he's got energy and like pizzazz and shit. And then Thin Black Duke is more like smooth, suave type of, you know what I mean? Like a mysterious, cool guy. You know what I mean? So I guess if you put it in those terms, you probably want to fuck the Thin Black Duke. You know what I mean? He's got big dick energy, that guy. You know what I mean? Like, you want to find out more about him. You know what I mean? He draws you in. But you gonna marry the Diamond Boy because he'll be star power. You know what I mean? He's gonna bring it. He's got money. He's gonna bring in money. He's gonna bring in, you know what I mean, accolades and shit. He's gonna get you into. He's gonna have a lot of plus ones that he could get you into. And yeah, I mean, he's the type of nigga who will forget to have you sign a prenup and you can get some of his money. So that's how it'll go. Kill Shawn Murray. Get that nigga out of here. Fuck the Thin Black Duke. Marry the Diamond Boy. But also, you might want to fuck the Diamond Boy because, yeah, I mean, you know what I mean, you attracted to that type of, you know what I mean, star power. Yeah, you know what I mean, it is marry the Thin Black Dude because that's more stable. So it's up to you. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. Don't ever ask me that. What I'm gonna do with my alter egos. You know what I mean? You decide who you want to fuck or marry or slaughter. Next question. Speaking of that, how did you get those nicknames? I'm gonna be honest. Those are nicknames that, like, they were bestowed on me. Like, it's like there always has to be a Diamond Boy and a Thin Black Duke to balance out the universe. And it just so happened that I'm both. Like, it's a rare occurrence. It happens once every 5 millennia that the Diamond Boy and the Thin Black Duke are the same entity, the same person. But yeah, it's a title that's bestowed upon you. You become. It's like the Dalai Lama. It's like the Avatar. You know what I mean? It's like I'm the master of all 4 elements in a way. You know what I mean? There's a war between those two forces in my body. You know what I mean? Like, Thin Black Duke wants to be this way, and it, like, rational, smooth, smart, calculated, and the Diamond Boy wants to be, you know what I mean, brash, irrational, impulsive, you know. So it's a war, but you know what I mean, it's bringing balance to the force. And at one point, When I die, those titles will be vacated and somebody will take up the mantle of both. Are you for or against reality TV, and what does it do to or for black people, black culture rather? I don't give a fuck about reality TV. I watch some, very little. The funniest show I've ever watched in my life is this show called Married at First Sight. I think it was season 9 or season 13. I watched it on I watched it on Netflix, and it doesn't get funnier than that. It's one of the funniest things, so I appreciate that. There was it's a dating show on Netflix. It was like First Date or something. Dating Around on Netflix. That was a really good show. But as far as like reality in general, like Real Housewives and Love and Hip Hop and shit, like I don't think it has any effect on black culture. Like I think it's documenting shit that's happening. Obviously, a lot of stuff is fabricated for TV, and it fucks with people's perception of what is or isn't important. But I think you can decide what you want to influence you. Honestly, you can. Like it's like you can watch Real Housewives and be inspired. You watch Real Housewives and be disgusted. You can watch Real Housewives and just decide I don't care about this at all. You could Love and Hip Hop, whatever. Basketball Wives. Any of it, it does. I don't think of it in those terms. Like I don't think it has a detrimental effect. It's like I think everything that's wrong with reality TV is wrong with culture already. It's just being kind of highlighted and it's being put in front of more eyes. But all that shit's happening whether or not we're watching it or not. You know what I mean? So whatever. I don't care. Watch it. Is there anything more annoying than a comedian thinking they're hilarious despite unanimous audience silence? That's not really annoying so much. I guess as an audience member it is, but like as a comic watching other comics do it, it's not annoying because it's like it's funny to see a nigga bombing and thinking he's not bombing. But I think the most annoying shit to me is niggas thinking they funnier than they're actually being, in the sense of like trying to sell the bit by laughing at the bit. Like I hate when Dave Chappelle slaps his knee with the mic. You know what I mean? Because it's one of the tricks. You know what I mean? It's a trick to like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm laughing, so yeah, I gotta laugh. But it's like this shit don't ever be that funny. And it's like, especially because it just feels like an automatic response. It doesn't feel like it feels like either something. It feels like a put on or an automatic response. It doesn't feel like it's coming from a natural place, and that's it's kind of annoying. It's like, bruh, like I'll decide if it's a knee slapper. You don't decide. And also, he overuses it, and it's like I don't like the sound of the mic hitting your knee. You know what I mean? But he's Dave Chappelle. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Are we ever going to finish the first episode of the Shawn Murray International Film Festival? Yes, we should get on that this week. Shawn Murray International Film Festival is a podcast I'm working on, where it's discussion about movies I like and dislike and all sorts of things. It's a movie discussion podcast. It'll be coming soon. I'm just trying to figure some things out logistically and get some episodes in the can so we can get the ball rolling. But yeah, we're going to finish that, and y'all, the audience, will be hearing it soon. Final question. What is one form of self-love you practice? I don't know. Do I practice self-love? I don't know, man. I really don't, honestly. Like sometimes I'm like, yo, you killing it. Then I look at it from a macro perspective, like, yeah, you really not killing it, my nigga. So I really have to work on self-love. Sometimes I really don't fuck with myself as hard as I should. But a lot of people out there do fuck with me, and that makes me happy. But I gotta practice self-love more. I don't know. I don't do it. But that's the segment for this week. Send in more questions next week. They help a lot. I'm sorry, there's nothing to talk about this week. Shout out to Jadakiss. Shout out to Styles P. Shout out to motherfucking Chic Luch. I'm gonna do a Jadakiss dance for y'all one time. Showmanship, hard work, teamwork, dedication to your craft, professionalism. That shit goes a long way. Shout out to the Lock. Shout out to Dipset still too. Cam, still one of my favorite rappers of all time. The nigga got the computers putin'. You gotta respect that. But tough loss. Like, subscribe, share, save. Check this out on Spotify. I told you before, this is now on Spotify and whatever you get your podcasts. You know what I mean? Trying to make it happen. And as always, fuck the frail shit. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.